Hello, beautiful seekers. This is Pauline Marie. Thank you for being here. Remember, you're right where you need to be, and thanks for being here. We have a powerful transmission and activation here from the divine wisdom of the waters. And this comes on, this is a timeless activation, but it does come on the portal of 1212, wave 6. And the overarching pre-download that I received and what I'm titling this wave is Purifying the Divine Within. So let's get into kind of this pre-message, and then we'll move further into this download and activation and this wisdom. And this is about sacred balance of life that's unfolding. So, first of all, I want to say I feel an immense amount of clarity coming through this portal, like the static being removed, kind of how I talked about that transmission, and right, where all those antenna transmissions to those higher frequencies, those higher timelines, and we have to tune the radio station there. But now I'm feeling it's getting easier to tune in. And that's coming from some divine timing, some divine geometry that's happening in the cosmos. Yes. Thank you, team. And really, they want me to start to speak into this special connection now to the divine feminine and the forces of the feminine, not to be in an imbalanced state of now we're only focusing on the divine feminine, because it's both divine feminine and masculine in all things. But this I'm hearing is a force of nature, the return of Sophia Consciousness, or what I think text calls the Gnosis. And Gnosis did come out in the archetype when I pulled a few cards on this pre-download, so we'll dive deeper there. So we're going to transcend spiritual unrest, and that's the support from as above, so coming down to below and within, is that this time might feel stuck or heavy, but there's nothing that can withstand this new alignment, this force of these geometric patterns and alignments coming through the cosmos and the planets, through the water's wisdom. And when we think of that in terms of water for purification, that is one of the main rituals of how water was always used. Yes, it sustains life, but secondary to that, it was used for our purification. So this wave or portal will clear out emotional poisons that were smeared upon us by others and free us of mental and physical prisons that we built ourselves. So yeah, I'm feeling this ties back to wave 5, where we were transcending, we're breaking open, cracking open, getting outside the box, releasing the egoic mind. Great. And then what also came out in the archetype on the pre-download was the eternal child. So what I heard from this and felt from this was this inner child connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. So tying that back again to sacred balance of life that unfolds. But having to look at that archetype, when the eternal child is balanced, it's this frequency that's timeless, it's ageless, it's infinite, and we look at life that way. We're radiant, right? This is through the eyes of a child that is seeing things for the first time. They're fearless. They want to learn. They touch everything, pick everything up, put their things in their mouth. They seek joy. They are joy. Above all else, that's what they do. So that is our birthright. But when this inner child, so this also speaks to wave 5 and that cutting of the cord and the discovery of the self away from the mother. When this inner child becomes imbalanced for whatever reason, right? Whatever 3D expression that they came here to transcend and how to evolve through. Often this archetype, they're very spirited. They're a very spirit of life kind of energy. And if they can't appease that or find ways to keep that spirit alive in a very dense world, they turn to addictions of all types. So an example of this would be our celebrity culture. They're really based on this kind of archetype because that's how they then, I mean, think about all the unfortunate early deaths of musicians through addiction, right? So just something to think about there, something to process. So what we are being called back to remember, and that divine within, is our childlike wonder, is to rise in wisdom, rise in the wisdom of the waters from a felt experience, but not from overactive senses of an external environment. So this is an internal felt experience that we are already in this state of I am God, I am, and I am part of the whole. And once we have an experience with that, we're forever changed. It becomes an anchor point that you can go back to. That in itself is an initiation. So in that archetype, it says, those who say they know don't, and those who say they don't know. So a fun little thing for us to ponder, because we really don't know. And beautiful. The other aspect in the pre-download that came out then was this concept of, and I already had said activating the wisdom within. Well, it came out that's going to happen with kind of 2 initiations. And this is going to assist our eternal child and our inner child purification and balance to transcend this spiritual unrest and move into harmony. And one of those archetypes I already spoke to, and that was the Gnosis. So this is mystic truths. This is rising above that 3D felt experience of our senses. And it's to contemplate the mystery. So the mystery is, we don't know. And leaving that, but always seeking internally to back to the I am, to piercing that veil of illusion. And we can do this by activating a healed inner child. So looking at things back from that place of wonderment, exploration, expansion. And when I look at this card, I really, really am seeing and getting that sacred geometry that's happening right now. And anyone that wants to look at that you can look it up yourself. I think Stefan Burns also posted what that looks like, what that geometric pattern looks like. And in this Gnosis card, I see the moon. So that moon, that shadow, sometimes our intuition, but I also see us coming through that moon is the sacred geometry. And I really feel 3i Atlas in this card. So again, you can do your own research on that. I'm speaking from my team and the downloads that I'm getting, but this is what is revealing mystic truths. It is this cosmic alignment with the moon, the sacred feminine, this coming of truths. May that be through Sophia Consciousness and Christ Consciousness as a union, a divine union again. And then the other initiation is through Kairos, which is the Mythic Time. So this is the experience of timelessness. And one of the waves, I can't remember, but I spoke about, time is the illusion. But this is where we can experience timelessness right now, right here, all the time. And it's in those childlike moments of wonderment, right? We all have an experience of where we're doing something we love, we're fully passionate about, and we lose our sense of time. It's like all of a sudden we look up and it's like, whoa, 5 hours went by. Like, that's this mythic time, being lost in time. Those are quality God moments. Those are the depth of connection to the divine, the I am. And that is you. All right, let's get a few more cards on this. I am feeling, of course, to hear from the wisdom of the waters first. That is the main source of my practice. And we have, follow the stream and ride the waves came out. So this is life lessons and growth, and you will get through this. So I don't know, this really speaks to me back to that childlike wonderment, the inner child, right? The surfer. Let's have fun. Let's ride these waves and have some fun. Be like that joyful surfer riding the waves all the way back to the shore. Yeah, we may fall off. We definitely may fall off. But we get back up and we find that a community in that. There may be fellow surfers who are riding their own waves back home, back to themselves, and that's where community is formed. So very supportive energy. Let's see what else runs through the waters, please. Waters. Beautiful, yes, thank you. All right, and out we have the rainbow. Another very beautiful frequency right now, and I think in activation 3, you can look at my playlist. We had, the rainbow bridge. So again, this is sweet relief, new beginnings, and a new way forward. So this is perfectly fitting with the frequency of the 1212 portal, because that is endings and new beginnings. So that's what we're being assisted with here. You can give a listen to the Rainbow Bridge activation if that feels resonant for you. So this future is already on a new Earth timeline. It's just waiting for you. It's waiting for you, beckoning you forward back to your path. Live outside your box. And the path is now much more clear thanks to this cosmic support and geometry and alignments and frequencies and activations and codes that are coming through the Divine Feminine, the Moon, with support of 3i Atlas. And that's just what I'm hearing. I'm just the messenger here. And I felt the clarity for sure. So that's feeling it for myself as well. And this will be steady, I'm hearing, very steady, with opportunities for deep joy, comfort, and peace. Thank you. Yeah, so my team is saying, will you answer the call? Will we answer the call? Well, that's a choice. That's the choice point. And to do the work and answer the call. Let's see what else wants to come out. I am feeling now, because of the Divine Feminine, to call in Sophia. Do the Rose Oracle deck. Sophia Consciousness. What do you have to say for the activation here? All right. We have the reunion. Wow, beautiful frequency here with the rose up in the cosmos coming down to activate the crown. There's definitely a lot of crown energy in this Gnosis card as well. So this is soul recognition, collaboration, partnerships, and friendships. So this kind of goes back to what we were saying about when we ride the waves, others will be there riding their waves and be there to form communities around this. We don't have to do this alone. Let me see if there's anything in this card itself. Yeah, with Sophia, she reveals her beauty to the world without waver. So she's asking us to do that as well. And that requires an open heart, an open mind, and collaboration rather than competition. So, again, I don't remember what activation it was, maybe 2, 3, I don't, it was about, yes, transcending the spiritual disease of envy. And with that kind of goes competition, right? Looking outside of ourselves for our light is not going to get us there. We have an internal light. Go within, find that. That is Sophia's message here. And those partnerships and collaboration will certainly be there. She's asking us to release that old programming of competition and open ourselves up to relationships and collaborations. And it's safe to trust and co-create. It's so beautiful. Let's see what else she has to say. For the collective here, this activation in wave 6 through the 1212 portal. And we have the sun, joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. So again, going back to the inner child, looking at all of this through the eyes of the child, looking at this playfully, activating that solar plexus energy of joy and enjoyment, connecting back to our Kyopa or our life force energy is going to be what's really activating this, along with the sun and everything the sun is doing right now to support. That's been very obvious with the amount of solar flares and solar activity. Let's see. It's a time of playfulness, enjoyment, and bliss, and can represent the inner child. The sun definitely is the inner child here. Great confirmation. And it's an invitation to have some fun. Enjoy the simple things in life. And I'm hearing too, like, we are returning to a simple life. Yes. Okay. So nice. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. I'm just going to get, following my format. I think those 4 cards say it all again. So what has changed is that we now have some clarity and support coming through everything. Everything in God's divine timing, through the cosmos, through the alignment and the stars and the moon and the sun and the activations in the water. We're to ride the waves, right? We're to just get on that board, do the best we can, see how far we can go, and find a community that's doing the same thing and ride them together and learn together. What awakened is this relief, the rainbow, these new beginnings. So the portal is creating this awakening and this activation and this understanding of mystic time and mystic truths. And then what was removed and transcended was anything that blocks us from the soul recognition, that this is the supportive energy. Yes, we have to do the work, but this is the supportive energy to come back to union with the self, the union with I am presence, the union with God within. And then the union, in community and partnerships and friendships with others. That's the order of the work. And then what rippled into the universe was the sun card coming in. Yeah, that healed inner child, that eternal child of joy, enjoyment. So no matter what you venture out in your new beginning to do, having gone through this, you can do this with joy and enjoyment. And that will ripple out. When you're working from a place of joy, and then it's addictive to others. Not in the sense of they're going to take your light and joy, but showing them. We have to be brave. We have to say, look, this is an internal process, and you can seek this internally within yourself, and the rewards will be much greater than trying to achieve it or get it through someone else, or attached to someone else, or in spite of somebody else, or in some kind of competition with somebody else. That's all not going to be able to live and exist through this portal. All right, some additional energies on this. We have the air card. We have the feather here. And this is really a message of the angels coming through here with alignment and breath, setting those intentions. I'm hearing, air sign is Aquarian sign, so this is the age of Aquarius. It's using kind of, everything that is supporting us right now, the sun and the breath of God. This is all through the breath of God. It is supporting the alignment right now for us to do this work together and be stewards and create the new earth. Any other energy on this right now, team? I'm also hearing too that air card is going back to the wave 5 about being cracked open. So to receive these wave activations, draw them in with breath, and we'll be able to feel a sense of renewal. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And what came out here now is the snow leopard. Mystery. So this goes to Gnosis, right? To that mystic truths. So that's confirmation of that coming through to pierce the veil. The snow leopard is agile and highly sensitive and teaches an art of agility. There's a lot of balance with action here, because that's how any predatory cat, right, works, is they balance. They are in harmony with nature. They kill just to feed themselves and their family. They do so in like a stillness and observation of their actions. So this is kind of asking us to, again, look beyond the surface of the box and how programs have programmed us into action, and look at it differently. It's here to teach us and to show us our gifts in presence, in the present moment awareness, and to move in action in harmony. Very, very supportive, beautiful. Thank you. And also with this cards, I'm getting a lot of third eye activation seen. And throat chakra too is still coming through. The blue eyes and of the snow leopard. All right. And the last thing we're going to do here is just hear from some blessings. The last bit of blessings from the water. Okay, we've got 2 that came out. We have soulful emerging. Deep relaxing beyond the mind will be like magically breathing underwater. Wow. That's an activation in itself. All right. And then the next one we have out is heaven and earth. Thank you. Yes, definitely confirmation of what's happening in the cosmos is happening with the earth and for the earth. That divine unity is your graceful and very natural self-expression. Perfect. So that goes back to this divine balance. Our unique expression, our healed inner child expresses as that eternal child who is harmonious and balanced and using their gifts from within to create in this new earth and the new beginnings, to ride the waves, to know that we're going to fall down, but to know there's support. And you will get to your soul recognition, and that reunion will be filled of collaboration, partnerships, friendships, joy, enjoyment. It's all there to receive you on a timeline that already exists. You're just remembering it and aligning to it through that breath, through the eternal force and breath of God, and through your own intentions. And remembering to stay in that mystery, stay in that we don't always know, and that's how we know. And doing that in peace and balance and harmony with your community, your family who's around you, with Mother Gaia. And this is your soul emerging. It's deep, deep emerging, just like you're going to be able to breathe underwater. And this is happening as above, so below, in heaven and earth. And divine unity is the end game. I love you all. Thank you. Talk soon.